y'all, it's me, Brittany, Chat with B, and I'm so excited to be sharing with you the inaugural Ask B. So why am I having you ask B, who's me, questions? Well, the other day I was helping a friend out with a situation, and she said to me, she was like, you know what, Britt, you have really good advice. And I was like, no, really? She was like, yeah, you have really good advice. Have you ever noticed I like asking you questions and you always have good advice? And I sat down and I thought about it and I was like, well, shoot, like I guess I really do have some pretty decent advice. And, you know, from there, she was like, man, I bet if you had people ask you questions, they would, number one, but the advice you would give them would be great. And the best part about it is that the advice would be solicited, because nobody likes unsolicited advice. So let's get that straight right now. No unsolicited advice. Only if you are asked. So with that being said, I decided to go ahead and start Ask B, this part of my YouTube channel. And I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised at the number of questions I got for this first go around. I got 5 questions, which happens to be one of my favorite numbers. And none of the individuals shared with me that they wanted to be identified. But with that being said, going forward, if you do submit a question to me and you have a social media handle that you'd like me to shout out as I share your question, let me know and I'd be more than happy to do that for you, because we all got to support each other, right? So today is April 23rd. Tomorrow is April 24th, and a little secret about that, I guess it won't be a secret now that I'm telling you, but tomorrow is my birthday. So my goal is to go ahead and get this out for you all tomorrow in celebration of me. But no, honestly, you know, I couldn't think of a better way to go ahead and bring in the year 28 by sharing this with you. So without further ado, I have my wine, because what's Q&A without wine? I have my questions, and let's get ready to go. All right, so the first question that we have, this one is loaded. How can you be nice professionally when you really want to slap? I should probably edit that out. But anyway, how can you be nice professionally when you really want to slap the person that you're dealing with? The fact of the matter is, there are many ways that you can do it. For those of you who are not aware, blogging, vlogging, all of this is not my primary thing. You know, it's 2019. I'm a millennial, and you're not a true millennial until you have your hands in multiple things. So I actually do have a career, but you know, this right here is my outlet. So in doing so, in my career field, you have to deal with many different types of people, many different types of personalities. And I mean, that's not really different from any other career field. And what's definitely the same is that every now and then you're going to have to be professional with somebody that you probably want to slap. So here are some tips for how you can overcome that. When speaking with someone who wants to just pull that out of you, you want to remain objective. Always remain objective. You can argue facts, but you cannot argue emotion. Okay? If you feel like the conversation is starting to take a turn to where it's going someplace that it really doesn't need to be going, you do your part to make sure that you reel that back in and remain focused on the task at hand. Furthermore, you are not obligated to show up for every battle that you were invited to. With that being said, there are ways to politely excuse yourself from the conversation, to deflect to another subject, or quite frankly, just not entertain it. I am the CC queen. I'm the BCC queen. I'm that person who copies an email that was sent out before and adds it as an attachment to state my claim, because you cannot argue emotion. You can only argue facts. So that is a polite way or a professional way rather, to deal with somebody like that in the work environment. You just remember what you came there to do and you execute. And don't let someone bring you down to their level just because they don't want to level up. Okay? All right, that was a great question. The next question we have is, what is a professional way to say pissed off? Man, y'all really having problems at work, huh? Let's see. I've been told that I have a way with words, especially in the workplace. And I'll give you my top 3 to 5. We'll see how many I come up with. I am displeased with the way that this conversation is going. I take offense to the manner in which you spoke with me. I don't know. Let me keep thinking. That's only 2. Let me see if I can get 2 more. This series of unfortunate events has been displeasing to me. I'm unhappy. I really wish this would have gone another way. Do you see the way I'm going with this? So you really want to focus more on actionable steps versus just what has you pissed off, because once you start to place blame, you're putting people in a position to kind of retaliate or react with that. As opposed to setting an atmosphere to where people feel compelled to act. So if there's ever a situation that rubs you the wrong way, you want to present the facts in a way that requires or provides actionable steps. And you always want to make sure that you leave enough room so that if you see that situation starting to happen again, you already know how you want to proceed going forward. All right, great question. So question number 3. Whew, this is a 2-part question. I might need some wine for this one because I feel very strongly about these, but it's a very good question, and I think it's important that we all honor our feelings and get just real honest with ourselves about what we do and don't like. That way people know how to kind of navigate those situations with you should they present in your own personal life. All right. Can you share your views on the use of phrases such as step and bonus when it comes to parenting? So another loaded question. And before I respond, I want to give you all some background on me. If you have not been following me very long, or if you literally just stumbled upon me, you probably don't know that I'm what people would consider to be a step parent or a bonus parent, a bonus mom, whatever. Any way you spin it, you know, I am not a biological parent. So with that, growing up in a Caribbean household, my mom is from Guyana, my dad is from Jamaica. Step, that was never in our vocabulary. Like, a step is something that you use to go up the stairs, or a step is something that you use at exercise aerobics class. But like, step parent, bonus this, like, that's not really something that we used, because we were of the standpoint that you're either a parent or you're not. And I think as society, you know, we've gotten to a place to where we get real literal with what it means to be a parent, and that can be really damaging to some of the relationships that can blossom out of circumstances like mine, for example. And at the end of the day, you know, there are 2 sides to every coin. You know, there's the parent side of the relationship, and then there's the child side of the relationship. And, you know, if there's a parent who's still active in the picture, or a parent who's still recognized in the picture, you know, I totally understand it could be weird for a child to be like, oh, well, you know, I got a mom that I was born from, and, you know, now I got a you. So, I mean, I get it. There's a lot of dynamics, and it's really semantics, I guess you can say. But me personally, I've never really believed in the step bonus thing. You know, you're a parent, point blank, period. You don't have to birth a child to be a mother. You don't have to go half on a baby to be a father. You're either a father or you're not. You're either a mother or you're not. And, you know, if we really went based on the premise that, oh, well, you didn't birth that child, so you're not really a mother, and you don't know what it's like to be a mother, and so on and so forth. I mean, think about how many children would not have gotten the opportunity to experience what a mother-child, a parent-child, mother-daughter, mother-son, whatever, relationship is based on what society wants you to accept as parenting. So my views are step and bonus, it doesn't exist to me. Whenever you hear me refer to the kids, you'll hear me say the kids, my kids, our kids, not my stepchild, not my step whatever. I mean, they're the kids, they're our kids, and I'm not gonna say my step anything. Now, two of them are relatively older, and I do get lots of looks, and honestly I do it on purpose. People are like, how old are your kids? I'm like, oh, they're 18 and 16. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, I started real early, you know, right when I was like blank years old. And like, you know, sometimes I do it for fun, but it's like, I'm not gonna say that, you know, oh, that's my stepkid. You know, those are our kids. We are married, they are ours. What's mine is his and vice versa. So they're ours. Great question. But before I move on, I want to say, you know, no slight to you if you feel like, you know, step and bonus is your thing. I mean, to each his own. I'm not judging you at all. I don't judge anyone who does that. I say go with what makes you feel comfortable, and you like it, I love it, and we'll all be happy. Okay, so I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I don't want y'all making no memes of me talking about, oh, she's judgmental and blah blah blah. No. You do what you feel is best for you and your family, and I'm going to continue to do what I feel is best for me and mine. Cool? Cool. All right, number 4. Can you also discuss your personal perspective on why it seems the older we get, the smaller our circle of friends and sometimes even loved ones seem to get? I've experienced this. Another great question. I've experienced this on multiple levels. I think there's a lot to be said about growth. I think there's a lot to be said about progression and just working and moving through life in a way and adjusting where necessary to make sure that all of your needs and those that you love needs around you are met. You might hear me say at some point in time, you know, oh, you know, me and so-and-so don't really vibrate on the same wavelength. That's a more literal description, but you know, as we think about all of the different things that make us tick, I mean, it's true. I've lost friends due to marriage. I've lost friends due to progressing in my career. I've lost friends due to the fact that I don't really want to go out and club anymore. Mostly because people are nuts these days, but that's not really my thing. Like, I like to go to the beach. I like to go to the mall. I like to go on vacation. I really like to go eat. And it's just that, you know, there's something to be said about the level of maturity it takes to recognize where you need to make changes in your life. And if you got to hang up your clubbing shoes, if you have to hang up, you know, going out to bars, and if you have to hang up things that you used to enjoy because it's for the betterment of you as a mother, you as a wife, you as a professional, you as a person, you do that because your life is that's all on you. And if they're a true friend, if they're a true loved one, if they have your best interests at heart, if they ride for you the way that they claim they ride for you, they should have absolutely no problem with that. But if they don't, if you start coming around making announcements about things that are great and, you know, you expect to say, oh my gosh, girl, that's so great, I'm so excited for you. Like, if that's the reaction that you're expecting, and you come around with your good news and they're like, oh, that's nice. That's something that I like to call jealousy. And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much you hang out with them. It doesn't matter how much you put your priorities on the back burner. Nothing you do is going to be good enough for that person. So my advice for that would be to take care of you and take care of yours. Those who are meant to ride for you will continue to ride for you through thick and thin. And always remember that people are designed to be in our life for a season. And sometimes those seasons expire. And we got to have the wisdom to recognize when those seasons are expiring and work through those feelings, honor those feelings so we can move forward healthily. All right. Whew, I felt like I was talking to myself with that one. That's a great question. Thank you. And the last one, we're going to end on a really positive note because, like I said, my birthday is tomorrow, so I'm super excited about that. Team Taurus. But what are you doing for your birthday? Great question. So let me start by giving some background, and I'm gonna try to get through this without getting emotional. Maybe I should sip some wine. Whew. All right, I'm gonna try to get through this without being emotional or getting emotional. But my birthday is April 24th. All right, it's been that for some decades now. My late grandmother's birthday is April 26th. And we always used to celebrate our birthdays together. And about, I want to say it's 3 years now, she passed, and birthdays just have not been the same. They just haven't been the same. So a lot has been going on the past 2 years. Aside from her not being here anymore, has just been real hectic. And now I'm finally in a place where things have settled down, and I can't just be sad every time this time of year comes around. Like, I plan on having a lot more birthdays come up. I'm planning on having years and decades of birthdays, and I can't just push pause on it and just not celebrate ever again. So this year, after talking with one of my coworkers, so I'm really glad that she hyped me up to do this. If you're watching, thank you. I appreciate it more than you ever know, because I'm one of those people who they'll just decide they're not doing something and it's just never gonna happen. And then on the flip side, I decide I'm gonna do something and then it happens. So that's what happened in this case. So this weekend I'm actually going to be hosting a paint and sip birthday brunch, which I don't really know how to paint, but I clearly know how to sip, and so do the people who I'm inviting. So I'm gonna be doing that this weekend, and I'm just gonna be having a very small gathering at the house, because like in the question that I was asked before, the older you get, the smaller your circle gets, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I'm just doing a small thing here at the house. We'll be painting, we'll be sipping, we'll be eating, we'll be laughing, and we'll just be enjoying each other's company. So I want to say this is the first time in, wow, this is the first time since 2014 that I've done something like major for my birthday, and my goal is to definitely not let it be the last time. I think it's easy for us to get caught up in celebrating milestone birthdays, and oh yeah, you know, it's my 30th, and oh, it's my 40th over the hill, and oh, now I'm 50. But I don't really see the sense in putting, you know, decades in between these things, because tomorrow's not promised. Like, I mean, heaven forbid, like, please don't take me, Lord, but like I could drop dead tomorrow or Sunday, and like if I would have waited to do like a milestone birthday, that's celebration and time with loved ones that I would have missed trying to like keep up with what society and the trends and all that. So I'm gonna celebrate my birthdays on whatever number it is, whenever I feel like doing it, however I feel like doing it, because my goal is to live life and live it abundantly. And you know, that's really just what it is. So I know that's way longer than the answer than you probably expected to get for that, but that's what I'm gonna be doing. And then of course and it's ladies only, so no dudes allowed. But outside of that, I'll be doing things with the family and just kind of relaxing. So that's what I'm doing for my birthday. And those were 5 really, really good questions. I didn't think I was going to get all emotional at the end, but you know, sometimes it's good to honor those feelings like I've been saying, and be vulnerable enough, excuse me, to let people see that side of you. But those are my 5 questions for this week. So if you have some things that you want to know, whether it's questions about me or just questions about what you think I might think about what's going on, leave your questions in the comments below, or go ahead and make sure that you're following me on social media. It's at Chat with B on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. and I will be sure to answer your questions in one of my upcoming Ask B videos. So with that, I'm gonna take a sip to that and I'm gonna log off because it's time. But I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I look forward to answering your questions in an upcoming video.